It is an epidemic that has cost Ohio lives, and it has cost a whole lot of money, too. The latest report from the Department of Health shows that more than 4,000 Ohioans died from unintentional drug overdoses in 2019. That's a 7% increase over the year prior.
According to the CDC, the misuse of prescription opioids cost Americans $78.5 billion a year, and it's a problem no one is immune to.
Cost me my marriage, destroyed my finances, just this path of destruction that I laid down over a 15-year period.
Tonight, we bring you an exclusive News 5 investigation. We've learned of an increasing number of stolen drugs from pharmacies in Ohio and across the country.
5 on your side, Chief Investigator Ron Regan has uncovered the thieves behind them are among the last you would suspect.
They don't use guns and they don't break in. But nationwide, they're getting away with millions of doses of dangerous drugs every year.
And it becomes, a test. Can I take one and get away with it? Can I take two? And then it ends up being a bottle.
Drugs disappearing off pharmacy shelves in almost plain sight. How? Just ask Jake Nichols.
I was absolutely convinced that I was going to be facing jail time.
And no one suspected a thing. That's because Nichols was the pharmacist. That's right, trusted, respected, and addicted.
I was just locked into this, and the only way that I was going to get out is if I got caught or if I died.
Instead, he got help. Now running a therapy program for others, and business is booming.
We're still unfortunately seeing rises in healthcare providers, especially pharmacists, that are struggling with substance use issues. And it's not just pharmacists, it's ancillary staff and support staff like pharmacy technicians and other folks that are in the pharmacy.
While the vast majority of pharmacists and techs are exemplary, addiction knows no limits on destroying lives. And in pharmacies, it can lead to prescription errors and deadly mistakes.
There is definitely a potential risk to patients.
So much so, the Ohio Pharmacy Board is now being forced to take immediate action.
So we've identified at least 67 people that were immediate threats to themselves or to the public. And we see that as a successful metric in removing individuals that may cause patient harm.
We obtained Ohio Pharmacy Board records, reviewed disciplinary hearings, and tracked criminal cases. We found reported thefts increased from 118 5 years ago to 320 last year, nearly 3 times as much. Prosecutors confirm what we found.
And we're seeing increase in numbers of cases that are coming down for our review. And we're seeing an increase in numbers of people that are going through the criminal justice system.
Like this, caught on hidden camera, a pharmacy tech behind the counter, and no one is anywhere near as she steals dangerous narcotics. How much is actually stolen? Over 148 million doses nationwide in pharmacies and healthcare facilities, according to this consultant's report. And it could be much higher.
There's a lot of incidents that are going undetected. And so really, if you look at a visual of an iceberg, what we see is that small sliver above the water where the bulk of the incidents are happening clearly, lurking undetected.
Plus, pharmacies are often understaffed and overworked.
The smoke, as it were, that may be present during a normal course of business is just not there because there are not enough people in place to monitor the business overall.
And investigators say some fail to report, despite federal and state requirements.
There are many, many times that cases are not reported. There are cases where the healthcare provider is just let go or allowed to resign after an investigation within the facility.
Jake Nichols was offered treatment instead of jail time. Treatment, he says, is the key.
It's our responsibility, to address this public health crisis as we would any other.
Meanwhile, the Pharmacy Board is working with pharmacies to possibly increase staffing that will reduce stress and put more eyeballs behind the counter. I'm Chief Investigator Ron Regan.